Glad to have you join us again. Welcome back from that short break. Like we said earlier, today we are going to be discussing artificial intelligence, and we're going to be navigating through the prospects of artificial intelligence in the Nigerian tech industry. Today with me, I have Mr. Shola Slick Akinrolie. Welcome to the studio, star.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me again. I'm
Thank
super
you for
excited.
joining us. Mr. Shola is a web developer and the founder of Codenovation. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you so much.
All right. On artificial intelligence, we saw that last year. We saw that artificial intelligence became something that was like a name in our neighborhoods. We started hearing about how robots could do things that only humans could do. We saw different innovations in the tech space about artificial intelligence. Can you tell us the difference between artificial intelligence and the usual developing that we know?
Yeah, thank you for having me once again, just like I said. Yeah, so pretty much artificial intelligence is actually an amazing technology. And I used to tell people innovation is one thing that will always evolve, according to how technology is being made, just like we do have version 1, version 2, version 3, and it keeps evolving. So just like in a simple time, just like you said, the difference between the existing technology and having artificial intelligence integrated into the existing technology, just like a pure advancement in technology. Just like we have more innovations coming into board now, or we can also say a way of amplifying the existing technology to provide a better feature, a better performance, and also have some new features that can actually help amplify the process and make the technology more easier the way it is before. So at French, just in a low long language, you can actually say basically you just want to say development or systems that can also perform different tasks require human intelligence. So the major difference between the existing technology is just the advancement in it, amplifying the process. When you have artificial intelligence now, you have more better features, more functionality, more performance, more efficiencies, making human life more easier than it was before.
Right. So how is this different from the traditional programming that we already have? What's the major difference?
Yeah, so the traditional programming language that we already have is still just like we now have what we call machine learning. So in normal programming language, we have things that people build stuff, use Java, you PHP, you have all these things. These are this language that's still being used to amplify when building, when building artificial intelligence, just like we have the machine learning. That's the best use cases that you use to build something. Now, what is this machine doing? This is now the process whereby those machines have the acquisition of informations and rules. For using those informations, they use the reasoning, the rules, and also have self corrections within it. So we have the normal programming languages before the artificial intelligence having the machine learning, but now the artificial intelligence will now be able to use the human language process language model to gather all the informations that you have been providing for them, because artificial intelligence without information, artificial intelligence cannot function. So it's all those existing informations in a more improved process, processing it better than it was before and giving it a better, more performance than it is before. So it's still the languages we're using to build artificial intelligence, but different is that they are now box of a lot of languages coming in together that the computer will process to produce a better, more AI technology, which makes it very intelligent. So now you have the existing the computer systems that perform typical tasks like human intelligence, but now you have natural language, which is artificial intelligence, by recognizing the patterns, solving problems, and making decisions by itself. So the AI systems can learn from the data, can adapt to new inputs by you communicate with it. It's learning through those processes and also improve over time, mimicking the way the humans learn and evolve. So it's studying the way humans learn, the way we evolve, is processing the data itself, is adding more input, learning from those data. So without data, artificial intelligence cannot exist. So AI technology, just like I said, include the machine learning, the deep learning, the natural language processing, like the chat GPT that we see. How we have the LLM language where you can have process billions of languages together to actually provide you to give you a better output. We also have things like computer vision and robotics. So these are like the ultimate goal of creating systems that perceive, understand, act autonomously for advancement in different fields like the healthcare, the machine, the transportation, and a lot more.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Before I go into the types of learning, I was going to talk about the reinforcement learning and all of that, but there are some concerns about people's privacy. You've talked about how AI gets its information from the internet, from people's reactions and all of that. So is there no privacy concern? Is there no way we are invading people's privacy with this development?
Yeah, well, just like I would say that every technology have their own fault and back. There's always an opportunity to say there are advantages for AI. There are also just like when blockchain came into existence, there was a lot of field fear, uncertainties around it. When you have a disruptive technology, it is normal for you to have some kind of the negativity and the positivity part. And the main difference that matters is how are we able to cope this issue that arise. A lot of people are scared sometimes about job displacement, while some people are scared about privacy invasion, just like you said. So I think the privacy invasion just depends on how it's really properly used. And you see that there's always privacy, guides and also rules around privacy that allows you to say, oh, am I accepting to be allowed to do this? Am I be able to get this done? And are you accepting those things when you're visiting those websites or you're doing stuff? But we see the widespread of adoption of AI powered like surveillance systems, visual recognition technology that can actually happen without you being aware, and you can have things like data mining algorithms, raises concerns about privacy invasions, like, and with government surveillance. But I would say that both of these things, they have their own positive aspects as well. Say for example, we're talking about the surveillance that some people see as invading their privacy. This can also be used to apprehend terrorist or or theft or a robbery or somebody they're looking for a long time.
Especially in this insecurity we're going through right now.
Insecurity world that we are, exactly. So as you are thinking that, oh, this is invading your privacy, at the same time think about the positive part of that same thing as well, because this can really mean a lot as well. It can help people to tackle these problems and all that. So it's all bordered between having this kind of compliance around how the privacy can work better and can be improved. And we have a body who is actually working on that to ensure that people's privacy is not just just
Invaded.
invade races. And yeah, pretty much. So obviously, just like I said, there's positive side to it and there's negative side to it.
So are you saying there is like a consent form to be signed when you're using artificial intelligence? Because I learned that artificial intelligence goes through the information on your phone and makes use of that. So is there like a consent form one needs to sign rather when using it?
Obviously, I would say yes and no. Now, why I said yes is that artificial intelligence is not just going through your phone.
Hmm.
You as a person, you use internet every day.
Right.
You go through all this website, you pull in your information on Google, you put in your information, you publish stuff, you're on social medias. This your profile or this your data is already public. People are seeing it already. You've already given Facebook consent to use your data at times. Some website that you visit to read news, they'll ask you, do you have consent to be shared? We don't read. The problem that a lot of people have is that we don't read these things.
That's true.
These things are being stated. So most time we just say yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, all these things. And with all these things, they are all the content that have been requested by us. So these are the data mining algorithm that the AI uses, not AI just going through your phone, but the information you have provided via those internet access, content you've given out, your public information that you publish on Google, on Facebook, on Instagram, on all those platforms you use them publicly. Those are the informations AI are most likely going to retrieve from and use it to process data. So they are not just infiltrating into your phone. I won't totally agree to that, but I would say the information you've been providing by different websites, different platforms that you have given access to information are what AI is using to process data and provide you right
Information.
information.
All right, I said I was going to go back to the learning procedure. Now, can you tell us the difference between the supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and the reinforced learning of AI?
Yeah, so I would say the supervised learning is just basically, it's very simple. You want to build AI, you're working on some AI materials that you actually want to work on, and you want to understand what are the supervised learning do you have that you can actually build, what are the things that you've already, the AI needs to process, what are the things AI need to process. So if you have those things already, those are the supervised learning that you're providing for the AI to actually use to data. The ones are the ones that AI do not have. The other one are the one that the AI unsupervised learnings are the one that the AIs don't have. And you are given the AI access to by writing some algorithms that can help you, process those data, those information, and without you being there, or even allow him to use its own intelligence, because AI keep learning, either you like it or not. On his own, he can process a lot of data and he keep learning, and that's why you see that people are excited about how AI can be helpful while they are coding, and people can ask informations. AI can help you detect your coding algorithms, can help you decode your vulnerability in your code, security in your code, and a lot of amazing other stuff. So these are the platforms that are really very important for you to key. So these are different models that can help you whatever you want to do, wherever you are processing your data, you are providing the information, either you're making it supervised or not supervised learning in the process of algorithm. It's deeper than this, but I would not have the whole day to actually explain all this for you.
All right, this is already simplified. Okay, so let's bring it home. How do we utilize artificial intelligence in Nigeria? How do we make it work for us in Nigeria, not looking at it as something that will take our jobs away from us?
Well, I'll say it's just like I said, there's always like people are always scared for understanding how you know different models work,
Development
like
work.
I said, development works, and there's always like this opportunity for people to be scared about things that are going to work and things that are not going to work. And I would say AI has its own advantage and have its own disadvantages. Just like you can see a lot of people now get to learn better, get to learn faster by using AI, by using ChatGPT to process things and to process data. But what about the job? Yes, AI is going to take the bitter truth is that
Hmm.
AI is going
Wow,
to replace a
I
lot
should
of
be
jobs.
scared right now.
That's the bitter truth.
Hmm.
We have no choice. AI is going to replace a lot of jobs, and it's already replacing a lot of jobs. You should see that you go to different advanced country, you go there now, you don't have to have a cashier. You have AI doing all these old things for you.
I
You
think
have
Google laid off
robots
some people
doing the
some weeks
brand.
ago.
Exactly. So there are a lot of jobs that are being laid off now because they feel like AI can do it. There are a lot of people now that feel like content copywriters and content writings are not really essential in a company again, just because they feel like AI can do the job better and can help in that aspect. There are a lot of another marketing jobs as well. But I feel like what matters is that it's still human that built AI. It's still human that talks to AI. It's still human that give instructions that makes AI to work the way we're working. So what we should focus on, how are we improving ourselves? What field do we have that we can expand to add more skills and more knowledge and make ourselves indisplaceable in our role. Regardless of wherever we are, there are still some things that AI will not understand. And this thing is emotions. AI do not have emotions. And there are key roles whereby you need to understand, human emotions. You need to talk to emotion. Maybe not now. Maybe later on you'll be surprised that some robots now have emotions.
Yes.
But for now, let's say obviously it's not completely out there now popular that we have a lot of AIs that have emotions and they used to deal with emotions and all that. So there's still a way you can communicate. The way you communicate to human interaction, human to human communication, studying this, they are essential that you know that AI cannot do these jobs. And sometimes AI is only perform based on the data they have collected from our human. It's just like a case scenario. I asked you in AI questions, and they can they can just fill up the AI with information of saying there can be 20 or 100 questions that we asked for by a human. Pick out the keywords and know how you can respond. It's just like the way we talk to Google Assistant
Yeah.
or Siri on
Siri.
all these phones, and on Amazon, what's it called? Yeah, pretty much. So we this is how the informations are being processed, and this is how AI uses this. So what our advice is that making yourself valuable at of any point of time you are, it's very important. Learn more new skills, add more new skills yourself, make yourself important in whatever roles you had. Don't just stick to one skills in a particular field you are. You can learn other skills that make you indispensable for a particular job you are as well. And we have to understand that with time, there are some jobs that are going to non-existence by human and will be taken more you know by AI. So of course we don't want to look at that part, but at the same time, this are meant to happen. Technologies are meant for innovations, are meant to evolve, and we can't shy away from it. We can't run away from it because the advantages are also huge as well. So yeah, just make yourself indispensable by learning more skills and make yourself valuable to wherever organizations you are
Right.
working.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the world is currently going through global warming. We have issues with climate change. What do you think that artificial intelligence can do for us at the moment?
Artificial intelligence, there's nowhere artificial intelligence cannot work. Just like you see that technology expands over different places. So I would say artificial intelligence is very key to humanity. And if you just like we have in healthcare advancement, enhance accessibility, just like we have in people helping people with disability, speech recognition, natural language processing, enable voice controlled interfaces, and making it easier for individuals, like all these mobile impaired people to interact with technologies and with AI driven image recognitions and all more. So definitely we can also have that in the old climate stage, the climate change as well, to understand how the climate can work. Now what artificial intelligence is now very much useful is that it's helping, just like recently, I don't know if you read it, that Russian is building some kind of cure that will discover cancer and
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, pretty much. So AI is going to be useful in fields like that that can foresee the essential things that can happen in in artificial intelligence, the climate change. How can we get, what are the disaster or potential issue that might actually come on. They can read by using data to accumulate, check the weather, performance, and everything to see how we can be better. What are the changes that can happen? How can it be improved? So, and this is what AI needed. So, when this information are being provided to AI, it can really help a lot in climate change, I say. So, depending on what we actually believe, I think there is nothing AI cannot improve in. So it's just we focusing on what can we provide for the AI to solve these problems. So if we have the modeling, the predictions, the renewable energy optimization, the energy efficiency grid, all these adaptations around climate change, it's very, very important. So AI can offer us promising opportunities, to address like complex changes in climate change, just like I said, by labeling more accurate predictions, smarter resource management that we can have, then maybe some sort of innovative solutions that we can build using AI to reduce emissions that goes to the air and enhancing this atmosphere will really be a huge benefit and also minimize potential risk and consequences against the climate.
All right. So, in the security aspect, Nigeria is currently facing a lot of security challenges. How do you think AI can help us reduce all of these risks?
Yeah, it just depends on, just like I say, regardless of whatever security risk we are facing, I just feel like once we have a system, technology is always available. But what matters is how do we want to use these technologies? How do we
Right.
want to maximize the opportunities that can solve the problem of what we can have in across the globe? Security is a key part. Technology is a key part of security, facilitating it, as you can see things like we've seen in movies, like how FBI uses information, how AIs can detect number of faces across within a seconds and pick out, any someone they're trying to identify and feature that. So it just depends on how the government can, adopt the technology itself. So if you have a proper structure systems that can be set to adopt AI system. There are different ways we can improve security by using AI, either by the criminal cases, identifying criminals in different forms. But what do we say? We don't even have facilities. We don't even have CCTV cameras that can actually help in this aspect of facial recognitions or some aspect. So there are different ways where AI can help security, but
Can
the
you help us mention some of these ways?
foundation, just like I say, the foundation of it still all fall back that do we have the foundational systems that can help? The first thing is that we can talk about the cybersecurity. They can be AI powered systems that can all help us to detect and mitigate cyber threats. So we can use these machine learning algorithms that can analyze the network traffic patterns, identify anonymous people or some unusual behaviors that can indicate, cyber attacks, respond to it frequently. The moment they are sending that attack, it can be detected, it can mitigate the potential risk. These AI driven security solutions can also automate like threat detections, incident response, and all other vulnerability to cyber attack. We also have AI, we also have AI security that can detect what we call fraud detections. So there is an AI algorithm that can be built that can be used to detect fraud activities, transactions, various digital platforms. You know, and some of the platforms, some companies, some banks are using it already in Europe, whereby the AI will detect either unusual transaction, maybe your card is being stolen or your phone is being stolen, because in Europe you can see that they use contactless payment. You just need to touch and
Mhm.
pay. So yeah, so in this platform whereby they see that, oh, unusual payment is going to make there can be fraud detection, including blanking, e-commerce, online payment. The machine learning models we analyze the large volumes of the transaction data, identify the patterns of indicative fraud, and flag any suspicious activities. Then you can flag it and just shut down the card for further payment. So those bad people will now have to call. I mean, the customer have to call. They will say, "Oh, their AI have flagged this so person." Detect the system, so they just to reduce, financial losses by individuals, protect organizations and individuals from fraudulent behaviors and all that. And we also have surveillance and monitoring camera. I've made mention of that already. We also have physical security. AI systems can be deployed for physical measures, like transportation orbs, public spaces, robots. We are not yet there, but it can work. Then finally, threat intelligence actually can also help to analyze threat intelligence and a lot more. But there's, just like I said, we have to
There's
go
a
back
lot
to
to
the
do.
yeah, we have to go back to the roots. We
All
still have a
right.
lot to go in our, in the country before we can get to this point. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. So, what are the key ethical considerations we have when developing AI systems?
Yeah, developing AI. I think just like I say, there's now ethical compliance monitoring. Like there's a body monitoring AI now and ensuring that it's appropriately used, which is very key in AI. Just like I always say there is no system that doesn't have its own backsides and all. There are a lot of controversies around disruptive technologies. We have seen this happen with blockchain technology, stating things like environmental impact and all that. So we have all these ethical, compliance that have been said to help reduce, you know, uh, the how AI can be accessed, how people can use AI's information. So there is always access. If you're building an AI solutions, you have to follow this compliance body that they have to go through the process of what you're building, see how this can, not be a disaster to the humanity and can also help reduce any danger or privacy invasion and a lot more to the to the humanity. So pretty much these are really really very important and these are really key. Have been created by the compliance body to help that. So hopefully we tend to have more of these coming in and it can actually help going forward.
All right. I asked that question because I saw a video where the AI system wasn't perfect. They asked a particular questions and there were a little bit of hallucinations in its answers. So how do you think this can be fixed, or do you think this will continue happening as AI is just nearly perfect and not perfect?
Just like I said, there's no system that is perfect. There's no perfect system. Yes. So, but just like I said, there is always a monitoring uh, um, compliance for all these AI platforms or whatever you're building. I think a few years ago, Facebook built a bot, like an AI bot, that uh, were supposed to be for a particular Facebook. And before you know, the two AIs, the two bots, they started communicating with themselves in a language that human don't understand, but they both understand each other. And what they have to do, Mark have to order Facebook have to order that the bot be shut down immediately. So this is part of what we're saying. Like there will be constant monitoring, compliance to see that there is no serious damage or danger to humanity by whatever they are building. Because if two robots are communicating in a robot language, the human that created them don't understand, then it's a potential danger to human. So this is what we just like I say, there have to be a ethical, compliance that can help the ethical development and deployment of AIs, with principles. So these are part of the ethical is fairness and equity, transparency and accountability. Just like you see, Facebook quickly detect that they know that they will be accountable for that and they shut down the bot immediately. Another thing is privacy and data protection that I talk about. Safety and security for human is actually very important. So all these, including social impact and responsibility, is also part of all these ethical criteria that has been set by the compliance body that have to, be demanded for safety for humanity, for safety in humanity. So it's quite very key for we to understand all this, and hopefully it get better. Just like I said, it's not a perfect system, and it keep getting better.
All right. So do you think in the coming years, I'm asking this question on sentiment basis, as all of us who are in our offices right now will be seated at home and AI will be doing our jobs for us, and it will just be a world full of technology?
It's not possible. No, absolutely no. The
Why
simple
do you think
answer
so?
is no, and the big answer is no. Just like I said, there's a lot of activities that involve humans emotion, humans interactions. So AI cannot completely have this done because human are different. We have different emotions. We have imagine AI is your colleague. The way human we communicate with you, AI would not be able to communicate with you. The way you want to pass message with him, they have not been to that point. Maybe they might be close, but there will not be a certain time that AI can be as perfect as the way human we, because we humans are diversified. The intelligence is different, the emotions is different, and we have to work with different people to make some job done. Just like you say, different customers, you have to talk to different customers different ways to understand. As a customer representative, for you to attend this customer is different for how you can attend to customers. If you have used some AI bot before as a customer support system, they only try to solve your problem. They cannot solve your problem, because sometimes you need human. What do you have to say? You still tell the AI, connect me to a call agent. That's it. So that's how to show you that AI cannot solve all the problems. So we still need human, especially work or roles that involves human to human interaction. We need human to do the role. So obviously the big answer is no. I don't see AI replacing all our jobs. They
Hmm.
might replace some
Thank you very
certain
much
number
for
of work,
clearing
but
out my
yeah,
fears.
that's it.
All right. So, lastly, what major achievements do you think we'll see in the tech space concerning artificial intelligence?
Yeah, there will be a lot more huge um achievement, I would say. Just like we've seen recently that almost everything, video editing, creating videos, creating amazing stuff around making stuff easier for you around AI has been exceptional, and it keeps coming with different AIs, tools that we have out there, like Moonlight, ChatGPT. Sora was recently launched as well, to text to human language and all that. So you see, Google recently launched Google Gemini, replacing Bard, the existing like a competitive for ChatGPT. There will be constant involvement and competitions around AI, and that will make it more competitive to give more, more solutions that we create more social impact, and we also help make human life easy. But I feel the major thing that I would love to see, you know, a huge impact on from the AI will be the health care part, where we can
Healthcare
see, yeah, the
in
healthcare part
Nigeria or in the world at large?
in the world at large, where we can see AI being able to, you know, help people, especially on all these deadly diseases that cannot be cured or are difficult to beat, like cancer, where you see AI can foresee potential damage when doing checkup. AI can analyze your body and say, if you continue this way, you may able to you are open to exposed to cancer. If AI can reduce things like this, it should be very huge. And in other aspects around human health, it's quite very key that we see a lot of AI coming on board to change the faces of Earth, which is really key to humanity. So let's hope to see big changes, big stuff around. There's already things around education. ChatGPT is helping a lot of things around automobile, a lot of things around robots, helping, facilitating already. But the big changes will be how AI can save more lives, because people still want to live, and to really make a huge difference. Yeah.
We do hope we'll get to that point. Thank you very much, Shola Slick, for joining us on the show today. We were really happy to have you in the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
All right, that's all we can take on the discussion segment. Next is top 5 e-commerce platforms in Nigeria.